Welcome to episode 36 of our ComfyUI tutorial series. Today I will show you how to set up the WAN 2.1 model so you can generate videos from text prompts or images. This will help you decide which model is best for you and, of course, allow you to generate videos for free on your own computer inside ComfyUI. First, we need to update ComfyUI to the latest version. Go to the manager and click on Update ComfyUI or Update All to update everything, including the nodes. They made some changes, and you can now see progress here. So ComfyUI is getting better over time. Once it's done, you'll see this screen showing the version it was updated to and what nodes were updated. Click on Restart and then click Confirm. Wait for it to finish. Afterward, click Confirm again to refresh, so ComfyUI remains in the same window. Now ComfyUI is updated. I'm adding the workflows on Discord so you can download them for free. Just go to the workflow section and open them. Let's start with the small one that most of you should be able to run on your computer with around 8 gigabytes of video RAM. I'll begin with this 1.3 model. I was thinking about how to make things easier for you when it comes to downloading all the models you need, so I've included the instructions in these nodes along with everything you need to use these workflows. I added download links to all the models used, where to place them, and what nodes I used. If you followed the rest of my episodes, especially episode 12 and episode 25, you should already have these two nodes. If not, go to the manager and try using install missing custom nodes, but I prefer to add them manually so I can learn in the process. To find the custom nodes, I just search for ComfyUI GGUF, and you'll see this version by City96. Click the install button and then restart ComfyUI. The second node is the video helper created by this author. So just install those nodes and you should be good to go. This workflow needs 3 different models to work. If you click anywhere outside the links, you enter editing mode and can see the format I used to format this node. To download the models, hover over the links and you'll see the cursor change to a hand. First, check where you need to place a model. In this case, it says the Diffusion Models folder. Then, click on the Direct Download button and it will ask you where to save it. Navigate to your Models folder, then to the Diffusion Models folder. If the model was downloaded somewhere else, just move it to that folder. You can see here like a title, I put the node name so you know where to load each model. For example, the model for loading clip is loaded here. The model we downloaded earlier is loaded in the Load Diffusion model node, and so on. So let's download the clip model. Navigate again to the Models folder and place it in the Text Encoders folder. Then we need a VAE model, the one we load here in the Load VAE node. Download that one as well. Navigate to the Models folder and place it in the VAE folder. These are the only models you need to run this workflow. But since ComfyUI was open, we need to go to Edit and select Refresh Node Definition. Now we can see those models and select them from the list. You should see one with 1.3b in the name. I've also added another large note here, which you can read and then move to the side or collapse by clicking on this gray dot here. Alternatively, you can delete it once you've learned the settings. Let's talk a little bit about this workflow. First, we have the Load Diffusion model node, which is connected to the K-sampler. In this node, you select the WAN model you want. Then we have the Load Clip node, just like we had those T5 models we used with Flux, but it's a different one. It starts with UM, which stands for Unimax, a model from Google. The type, of course, is set to WAN. Next, we have the text encoders, where we add the positive and negative prompts. The K-sampler, as you've probably gotten used to by now, is set with 30 steps, a CFG of 6, using this sampler and scheduler. In the node, I've added some instructions like you see here, with recommended settings for that node. I hope it helps. Then I use the Video Combine node to save the video in MP4 format. Here, the frame rate is an important setting. I like it set to 16 frames per second because it generates faster. So in 1 second, it generates about 16 images. You can set it to 24 or another frame rate, which will make it look smoother, but it will also take much longer because it needs to generate those extra frames. After that, we have the empty latent, where we set the length or how many frames the video should have. This depends on the frame rate you choose. I explained here that if you go with 16 frames per second, and you want 1 second of video, you should set it to 17 frames because you need to add an extra frame at the end. For 5 seconds, you need 81 frames in the empty latent, and so on. If you set the frames to 24 instead, the length will be different. As you can see, you'll need more frames. So that's the formula you can use to calculate how many frames you need for a certain frame rate and desired video length. For example, 49 frames at 16 frames per second would mean 3 seconds of video. The video model was trained at these sizes, so you can create 480p videos. If you want a landscape video, you put this size. For portrait, this size. And for square, just use 640 pixels. For the prompt, try to add at least 2-3 sentences describing the subject, how it moves, and how the camera moves. You can use something like ChatGPT to create better prompts. You can also add a negative prompt here, but I didn't play around too much with this. I just added those recommended in the Comfy workflows from the Comfy blog. Click on Q, and let's see what we can get. Here, you can see a preview of a video I generated earlier, and let's see what we get now. You can enlarge this node to see it better. I got this cute cat, and for animation and close-up shots, the video turned out quite nice. For other things, like landscapes, it can still have a lot of glitches. The length is set to 49 because the frame rate was set to 16. So how long is the video? You can check here, and it says 3 seconds. If you want a 5-second video on this workflow, just change the length to 81, where it says length, and you will get 5-second videos. It will just take more time since it has almost double the frames. I don't suggest going for videos longer than 5 to 6 seconds because it will start to cause all kinds of glitches. But let me show you an idea of how you can get a prompt with ChatGPT. I asked it to give me a prompt for a text-to-video AI generator and to describe both the camera movement and the character movement. Then I gave the details, but you can adapt it for the things you want. Afterward, you can see what it gives you, and you can ask for changes, request more motion, or even make the prompt shorter or longer. Let's copy and test this prompt. I'll paste it here and run the workflow. You can toggle the bottom panel to see what's going on, how the models are loading, and how much time it takes. For the previous video, it took 83 seconds to generate on the RTX 4090. So for this 3-second cat video, it took 83 seconds, and here's the result: a cute cartoon dog walking through a forest. For this prompt, it took 86 seconds. So the average time is around 80 seconds for a 3-second video at 480p with 16 frames per second for this model. Sometimes the generation can get slow after a while, and you can try using these buttons to unload, or this button to free the memory cache, or simply restart ComfyUI if it gets stuck. So are you ready for the next workflow? I will close this workflow, then go to Workflows and open the second one. This time it uses the 14B model, which has more training, is much larger, but also slower, and requires more video memory. So let's go to the left side to see what we need to get this workflow running. It needs the same models except for the main WAN model. Since the original model is too large, I decided to go with a GUF model instead, which is smaller and can run faster. Notice how the node is different. It's a UNet loader GUF, not a load diffusion model node. If you have a lot of video RAM, you can use the same version I use, the Q8 version. Go to the models folder, just like in the previous model, and place it in the diffusion models folder. But keep in mind, this is still slow even on my video card. The rest of the models are the same as before, clip and VAE. The only difference is the model you load here. I suggest going to the models list instead and trying different models. If I click on it, you can see it opens this Hugging Face page with many versions of this model, different quantizations. I use the biggest, the Q8 version, but you can also use these two versions, although they are too big for my card. So this was my choice. The smaller the size, the faster the model will be, but it will start to lose quality. So try a few and keep the one that works best for you. But what do all those letters mean? WAN is the name of the video model released by Alibaba, and 2.1 refers to its version. T2V stands for text to video, meaning the model generates videos from text prompts. 14B means the model has 14 billion parameters. For comparison, the first workflow used only 1.3 billion parameters, making it much smaller. Q4, Q5, and Q8 refer to quantization. Q4 is smaller, faster, and lower quality. Q8 is larger, slower, and better quality. K, S, and M stand for different optimization methods. K is more efficient, S is more symmetrical and balanced, M is mixed, combining different levels for the best performance. So basically, the lower the Q number, the faster the model runs, but with some loss in quality. Compared to the first workflow with the 1.3b model, which could only generate 480p video, this one can also generate 720p videos, so you can create larger sized videos. However, it will take a lot more time, depending on the model you use. It can even take half an hour on the RTX 4090 for just a few seconds of video. You can choose your size here with the recommended width and height. This is an example of a 480p video result generated with the Q8 version model. So that should cover the text to video part. Get the model that fits your video card, check how much time it takes, and see what quality you get. The generation is really slow, just a few minutes for a few seconds of video. Let's move to my favorite workflow, the one that lets you upload an image and generate a video from it. This is for the 480p video version. If I go to the left, we have some different models again. This time, it has I2V in the name, which means it's an image to video model. Click on download, and again, all the WAN models go to the diffusion models folder, whether they are safe tensor or GGUF, at least for the models I present in this tutorial. We also have one extra model that we need here, in addition to the clip and VAE models, the clip vision H model. This one goes to the load clip vision node. So download that model, go to the models folder, and place it in the clip vision folder. Now you can go to edit and refresh to be able to see the models. Then just select it from the list. This is a 480p model, so you can only use these sizes with it. Try uploading images with those sizes, or at least the same ratio. Go here and upload your image. I'm selecting this bunny. Now, the bunny image uses that vision model to do some magic, and it's encoded in this node. It then goes to the WAN image to video node together with the info from the models, the clip, and the prompts. Everything gets mixed together in the K sampler to generate a nice video. How nice the video is depends on the model's size, prompt, and seed. Like all AI, it still has some mistakes, but so far, it's a good start for an open source model. Out of all the workflows, this is the one I use the most because it's faster. Even though it's only a 480p video, I can still get an acceptable video in 5-7 minutes. I use the Q4 version to make it faster, but you can click on this model list and select different model versions for the image to video model. Let me close this one and try another model that can do bigger videos. This workflow can generate 720p videos, but be prepared to wait much longer. It's the same workflow as before, but here, the 720p model version is selected, and I've added the settings for this model. Of course, you need to download this model as well if you want to use it. I hope you have enough space on your hard drive for all these models. I'm at the limit myself, so I have to delete some that I don't use. It goes to the same diffusion models folder. Then go to edit and refresh. Upload your image. I will provide you with all the images I use for testing the workflows on Discord. Add your prompt where you describe the motion, and the result for this model is quite nice. I just wish they could make it faster since it takes a lot of time to generate. Go to the model list and select the model version you want. Q8 is larger, but I've downloaded the Q4 version since it's smaller. However, you need to test it on your PC, since sometimes a Q8 version can be faster than Q4, even though it's larger. It all depends on your video card. To get the workflows, go to the Pixaroma Discord channel. You can find the link in the YouTube header or video description. Go to the Pixaroma Workflows channel where you can find all the workflows for all the episodes. For example, if I click on episode 34, you can find the workflows with a download button. Just download that and drag it to your ComfyUI canvas. If you don't have enough video memory, you can test it online on websites like RunningHub, like I did in episode 35. I added these workflows today so you can use them too, and I will add the link to this workflow in the description. I used a smaller model, so it works a little faster, the 480p version. Here, you have information about the sizes you can generate and how to choose the length of the video. By default, I set it to 3 seconds. You just click launch on the cloud and wait for it to load. Once loaded, you can see which model I used, but you can click and select a bigger model if you want. The rest of the settings can remain the same. Just load your image. By the way, this is for the GGUF models. But if you want to use the original larger versions, you can search for load diffusion model, filter by WAN, and you'll see some text to video and image to video versions. Then just connect it to the case sampler instead of the existing node. I tested this one with the prompt used here, along with this cute little bunny. The size I used matches the image size, but you can try landscape or square, like I mentioned in the description. For the length, 49 means 3 seconds, but you can set it to 81 if you want 5 seconds. So for a 3-second 480p video, I got this cute video. Now, to see how much time it took and the cost, look here. The first time I ran it, it took over 8 minutes. The second time, it took around 7 minutes, so it was faster. To see the cost in coins, go to your profile, then to bill records, and click on consumption details. You'll see that for the first generation, it took 100 coins, and for the second generation, it only took 87 coins. I did some quick tests on the quality of the models for the 480p version, comparing the FP8 version on the left, the Q4 version in the middle, and the Q8 version on the right. FP8 seems to be lower quality compared to the rest, with more mistakes. If you look at the beginning when the bunny starts to walk, you can see how strange it walks in FP8, like it's wounded. For the Q4, the walk is a little better, but it still goes through the carpet as if it's grass or something. Finally, the Q8 has a more natural walk, although there is a small glitch towards the end. So in my opinion, Q8 is better than Q4, and Q4 is better than FP8. But how can we make the video bigger, like full HD or larger? Well, I use Topaz Video AI software. It's a paid software, but I haven't found one that matches its quality yet. Now, of course, if the video looks bad, the upscale will also look bad, but let me test it with this goat, and you can see here the actual video size. I can change it to a different size for upscaling, maybe full HD or 4K, but for some reason, even though I uploaded in portrait mode, the default output is set for landscape mode. So I will choose a custom resolution and swap the width and height. I'll set the width to 1080 and the height to 1920 to get a full HD size, perfect for reels and shorts. Then you have more settings. You can see that the frames per second was set to 16 in the original, but I can choose a higher value like 24 or maybe 30 to make the video smoother. Then you have different models to choose from. Once you're done, just click export and you can give it a name. If I look at the queue for this short video, after it loads the model, it should only take a few seconds, around 7 seconds in this case. Now, the moment of truth. Is it any better after upscaling? On the left is the original, and on the right is the upscaled version with Topaz. And that, my friends, was today's tutorial. If you learned something new, don't forget to leave a like and a comment to help this channel grow. A huge thank you to all the legends and other members who support this channel each month. Special shout out to some of the legends like Sebastian Anthony and Marcel, who have been supporting this channel for over 5 months. Your continued support means a lot. Also, a big congratulations to Ivo, who has been incredibly helpful to users on Discord. He's just been promoted to the night role. His installer with all the nodes has been a massive help to many. That's all for today. Wishing you a great day, and I'll catch you on Discord.